The last couple of games, I've noticed sides putting long balls behind our wing backs, but especially in behind Mazraoui. I wasn't sure if this was tactical or not, but Brighton certainly targeted him. Belieber is going to play the ball in behind. As the ball is in the air, we can see Welbeck positioning himself on that side to draw the outside centre-back out, to isolate Mazraoui with Matoma, and it's a foot race that leads to the opening goal. This time, Dunk is looking to play the ball in behind. As the ball gets to Matoma, we can see how the positioning of Welbeck once again isolates Mazraoui. Look how far upfield De Ligt is, and that is the trick of a Dunk to go long, but Mazraoui deals with it this time. In this last example, Belieber is looking to play the pass. Welbeck has pulled De Ligt out again, putting Matoma in another one-on-one. This highlights United's need for speed in the wing-back areas. Although United had decent possession, their possession patterns were disrupted by Hurtzler's clever tactics. Brighton do play with a back four, but when United had possession, a midfield player dropped into the back four to create a five. That gave Brighton the numbers to manage United's two tens and striker, which in turn allowed Brighton's midfield to push up onto United's double pivot, taking away these pockets I've highlighted in previous analysis. If we go back to the Forest game, these spaces behind the pivot have always been there because the two tens are holding the opposition's midfield. United haven't always found the connections, but that space has always been there in most matches. In general, United were too slow on the ball and their decision making was exposed. If De Ligt plays this pass to Ugarte, he can attack this space, but he turns him down and goes backwards. Ugarte just needs to play that pass into Mainoo to break this line to get into that space, but he goes square and we can see Mainoo is not happy he didn't play the pass. If we compare this to some of Brighton's combinations, Brighton play this quick 1-2 which moves Collier. Now Brighton have Collier in his possession triangle, and now it's 1-2 passes and Brighton have tied up two United players, which gets Belieber free, and then it's a switch out to the right. With some well-drilled combinations, Brighton went from here to here in 6 passes. I know I keep going on about this, but United's inability to control the pockets between the back three and double pivot is getting worse. Maguire has to step up onto Pedro, but he puts his arm out to pass him on. Surely he can see the midfield is occupied and Yaro has to hold with Minte making this run, and Pedro gets on the ball. There were so many examples of this in the game it was embarrassing. The remit is simple, but time and time again, players fail to execute their duties. But there were more clever tactics from Hurtzler that put pressure on United's defensive structures. Brighton were dropping a midfield player between the two centre-backs to create a possession back three. This was pulling United's tens in field, leaving the full-backs free. Again, we can see how Brighton's back three possession formation is holding United's tens, and Estupiñán sneaks behind Ahmad again. The Devil's verdict is, I like Amorim and the system is interesting and has potential, but the few chinks of light I have highlighted in previous analysis has gone. Teams are fully locked in on what Amorim is trying to do and countering it. The concerning thing is, we are seeing the continuing lack of ability to adapt to tactical challenges teams are presenting to us. Everything Brighton did worked more than once throughout the game, and the sad thing is, although this was a better performance than the Southampton game, Brighton probably had another 2 gears if they needed it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.